This is the first time we're seeing Chinese equipment in battle and seeing what they're capable of. I mean, this is a no kidding real world test, just like Ukraine versus Russia. India versus Pakistan, 125 jet dogfights and first use of the PL-15. A lot of reports coming out of the recent conflict, just as the Ukraine versus Russia conflict dwindles down, hopefully, might be a ceasefire. We've got war with Pakistan and India and a lot of claims of air battles that we'll talk about today and see what we can learn. So I guess it depends on what source you use. Gonki and I reported on the Mover and Gonki show on Monday that a JF-17 had been shot down and the pilot killed. You can see here, if you look at Indian sources, they're saying shot down 2 of its JF-17s. Pakistani F-16, 2 JF-17s down by Indian Air Defense, and then also that they shot down the AWACS. Eurasian Times, however, says that no, that did not happen. And the Clash reports that the 2 JF-17 report was AI generated and fabricated. I have not found any direct claims on the actual video that we covered, but there's so much misinformation or disinformation in this conflict on both sides. It's really tough to talk about what's true and what's not because both sides seem to be declaring certain things that may or may not be true. So I don't know whether that's true. So Newsweek reported India versus Pakistan, 125 jets clash in one of the largest dogfights in recent history. 125 Indian and Pakistani jets battled for over an hour in one of the biggest dogfights. If the numbers were confirmed, make one of the largest air battles. But then it talks about they were at ranges outside of 100 miles, which is not a dogfight. That's beyond visual range. Dogfight is within visual range, inside of 5 miles, a furball. This is not a dogfight, even if it's true, which I kind of doubt it is. I think maybe there might have been 125 jets airborne, but them actually directly fighting each other, probably not. None of it has been confirmed, and CNN was the source. So good luck. CNN's not the most reliable when it comes to aviation or anything for that matter. But there were beyond visual range shots, and we do believe it was the first of the PL-15 employment in combat. As for the rest of the claims, Pakistani army spokesman said that they shot down 5 Indian fighter jets, but Delhi has not confirmed that. So there's a lot of like, well, they say one thing, we say another. Nothing has been confirmed. The closest to being confirmed, Reuters is reporting that global militaries to study the fighter battle, but it's hard to take anybody seriously. It says fighter jet, to be honest with you. Pakistani jets shot down Indian aircraft, U.S. officials say. So U.S. officials are saying that the Pakistani jets have shot down Indian aircraft. They're using Chinese jets, J-10, JF-17 is kind of a mix, and then the PL-15 air-to-air missile. Chinese-made Pakistani fighter shot down at least 2. So the Reuters claim is that they've shot down 2 military aircraft, one being a Rafale, making a potential milestone for Beijing's advanced jet. Aero class is opportunities for military study performance of pilots. Right. This is the first time we're seeing Chinese equipment in battle and seeing what they're capable of. I mean, this is a no kidding real world test, just like Ukraine versus Russia. We got to see some Russian equipment and some of their new stuff. Now we're getting to see what the Chinese are up to and what their aircraft can do. And missiles. Experts said that the use of advanced weapons would be analyzed across the world, including in China and the United States, because China wants to know how their stuff's doing too. In the United States, well, I mean, it's an adversary or potential adversary country. We want to know how their stuff is doing. They're using the J-10 with the PL-15. I think also the Meteor missile on the other side is being used, so we're getting to see how that performs. But the French want to know how the Rafale's doing and the Meteor. Americans want to know how their allies are doing, plus the Chinese as well. But this is the biggest thing. There's just not many details. There's so much trash talking on social media and fake stuff, AI, both sides. People are just making claims. It's hard to know what is legit and what is not. So here's what the PL-15 air-to-air missile looks like. There are variants. The PL-15 is the baseline. It's got a much longer range because that's the Chinese indigenous one. That's theirs. The export version is less, 145 kilometers. So were they shooting outside of 100 miles? No. I mean, that's only about 70 miles on the long end. And you're not going to shoot max range. You're going to want to get better into the envelope. So you're probably talking, 50 to 60 mile shots, which is still crazy. Like, that's still an incredible distance. But there are unconfirmed variants of an A and B, but more than likely, this is the one that was being used. It is designed to destroy fast-moving airborne targets with a high explosive fragmentation. So laser prox fuse or active radar. So proximity fusing, like we've talked about. Missile doesn't have to hit you. It just has to get close enough. Then it has that shotgun pattern with the 40-kilogram warhead. It's fire and forget. It's got its own radar seeker, multi-mode, with an active electronic scanned array radar in the nose, or technology in the nose, which makes it very, very capable for fire and forget. You're not having to support the missile that far because it's doing its own thing. It's got its own radar in it. Standoff engagement, and it's the pillar of the Chinese anti-access aerial denial, because you can stand off real far away, launch the missile, and be outside the range of your opponent's missile as well. So China and Pakistan are the only two that use it right now. Dual pulse solid fuel rocket motor. It's only 250 kilograms. It's a Mach 4 missile. Again, we talked about the 145. It's got its own INS, so the missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't. With an ESA, and it can be carried on the J-10, J-16. So the J-10 is what we're seeing, and then the JF-17. I don't think they were putting it on the JF-17. I think if it was shot, it was probably on the J-10. But again, that gives us a lot of data in this theater, in this conflict. So that's a quick update on what's going on. I mean, you have to decide whether you think it's true or not, and that's probably going to depend on what side you're on. A lot of information is still coming out. We're not going to know a lot of information for a while, but if true, we're going to get a lot of data on beyond visual range capabilities of both sides, whether the tactics that they're using are effective. Because remember, it's not just the missile, but the tactics that you use to employ it, right? A lot of stuff we're going to see. We're going to look at how the missiles performed, how the aircraft performed, what employment tactics that they use, because more than likely with the aircraft, the Chinese probably gave them some, hey, here's the best way to employ this. And then they added their own. So it's not going to be pure Chinese tactics, but it will be something that we can take a look at. And then for the other side, how did it work? How did the French stuff work? How did their countermeasures work? How did their defensive measures work? Missile warning, radar warning, all that stuff. Did they know? Did they have indications? So a ton of data. Ideally, the conflict ends, because I don't want to see this war. I don't want to see yet another war. I don't want to see yet another conflict, especially with two nuclear powers. I can't we all just get along? I mean, that's how I feel about all conflict. But I don't think there was a 125 jet dogfight, but there probably was some level of beyond visual range engagement, and probably a lot of stuff with SAMs, suppression of enemy air defense, and all that stuff is probably playing a big role in this as well. So let me know in the comments what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
记得点赞关注哦。